So this is one of our starting designs or technical sketches for of what we wanted our product to look like, and our rough sketch for getting better. And yeah, that's our mock-up design for our product. And so this is for prototype 1, where for the pads, we used blue yoga mats for all of them. And the result of that is this one. So, yeah.
So for some of the problems we ran into while making prototype 1 is that the hip pads, whenever we tried to run or use the girdle, it kept falling out and wouldn't stay in place. Also, the thigh pad was much too thick for bending and running, so it wouldn't really help with what we're trying to make out of our final product, which would be protective yet able to move and flexible. For some of our prototype 2 plans, we wanted to make it flexible yet protective so that if you were to get hit, it wouldn't hurt as much as a regular girdle. And since our prototype 1 is super tough and not flexible, we used different types of material, a pad which is super flexible yet protective. Our estimated cost for prototype 2 was $30 to $40. It took 3 weeks. We printed a thin layer of plastic for our thigh pads, which gave it more density and more protection. Yeah. And for our knee pads, we made it more coverage around the sides of the knees, which we were planning to do from the start. This is our final prototype number 2. As you can see, the thigh pads wrap around most of the thigh, and our knee pads wrap around most of the knee.
So some problems we ran into when building prototype number 2. The wires were sticking out of the pads that would form around your leg, so it would be an individual player girdle. And so we decided, since the pads were flexible enough that the fabric itself would hold it on, we just took the wires out. And then the thigh pad plastic pieces wouldn't really stay on well because we used Velcro. So when it went through the washer, the Velcro came apart and the pieces got lost in the fabric. And then when we tried to hot glue our knee pads together, the glue wouldn't stick as well as we would like it to. And if you were to put it in the dryer, the hot glue would actually melt. So, our group assessment, the pads form well to the body, opposed to our previous one, where the foam didn't really wrap around as much as we'd like it to. The biggest problem we had with our second prototype was it was about double the weight of our last girdle, which is a big factor, especially in the skill positions of football, whereas you want to be as light as possible to move as quick as possible, which will also help prevent injury. So we hope to improve that in our next girdle. Our prototype 3 plans. For prototype 3, we're looking to do 3 layers of fabric, where we have the bottom one is our moisture wicking, so that way it doesn't soak up any sweat, but the outer layer would be more of a light fabric. We're looking to make the hard shell layer of our thigh pads a little bit bigger, so that way it disperses the impact a little bit more. And then we're looking to use 5 gel for the hip and knee pads, which will allow it to move. It would have a honeycomb pattern in it to be able to flex more. So when you have an opening and you flex it, it'll compact together to be able to get mobility better. And then for our shin pad, we originally had 9, and we went down to 3, and now we're looking to just do 1 solid shin pad. And we'd also have a variety of lengths of our girdle, so you could buy the option of the thigh up, the knee up, or the whole entire girdle for specific practices. And then this is our CAD model of what we hope our girdle would look like. And then this is what's out there now, our mock-up, our prototype 1. We still have to get our prototype 2 in there, and then what our prototype 3 would hopefully look like. And that's it.
6:30 is your time.
On the slide with the flaws of prototypes 2, it said that the plastic would stay on instead of would not stay on. So that was a little confusing
Oh,
there.
yeah.
But other than that, really good.
I think the next slide, can you go to the next slide? Hard shell is too loose, you would use that.
Yeah. We got some spelling errors we have to
Yeah.
I think in the other slides, like after this one, talking about like the changes you'd make to the prototype, you might want to like draw pictures of that or like take pictures to demonstrate that rather than like having a bunch of text on the screen.
Okay. Sarah?
I think you could use like a little more like enthusiasm in like your voices. And can you go to your problem statement? And just maybe like talk a little bit more about that, because like who else thinks it's a problem? Like yeah, like it doesn't cover the lower parts of the body, but like who cares about that? Like tell me. Like don't tell me now, but like I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Something really quick. Your problem statement's a question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys plan on adding slides for your tests?
For our tests?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to be in our, so we're gonna add to our assessment. It was supposed to be our tests and
Okay.
feedback, so we're trying to combine it into that.
I think I was a little bit confused to like what exactly the your solution like changes about the it's only 50% is like helped or whatever. Like to me it seemed like you knew just what you were talking about, but it's just like you didn't explain it in such a way that people who didn't know what you were talking about knew what you were talking about.
Go back. I'll add on to what Ryan said. Go back to your last slide. Go to your last slide. All right. So you got the picture on the left, which is the existing. Okay. You got prototype 1 in there. You're going to add a picture of prototype 2, and I'm going off your conceptual design. What's the difference? You know, that would be a good point to at this specific spot to say. So again, going back to the first one, we surveyed X amount of high school and college football players. Here are the hot zones of where they feel they're unprotected. These are the original girdle. Our prototype 3, as you can see, will protect those areas here, 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 and here. Okay? Right, is that what you're getting at? Yeah.
I think with your problem statement, if you said like 50% of like the amount surveyed, like how many were surveyed, it might be useful to add that in there. Because it just says 50% of all like high school. I don't know if that's like all high school players or everybody, you know what I mean?
It's a little confusing problem statement. Is it
Yeah.
50% of their legs aren't covered, 50% think they're not covered, 50% aren't? Like, what does that mean, 50%? That 50% of people surveyed say that current girdles don't give enough coverage. I think that's a better way of saying it.
Okay.
But then, yes, definitely what Katie's saying, put that in. Okay. Time for one more comment if we got one. Go for it, J-Rob. Next group, if you guys want to get ready.
Have you guys ever thought about like